Joining us now direct from New Jersey is Mr. David Cunic. He is the CEO of UCS Advisors Incorporated. David, always great to have you on the program.
Hey, great being here, Don. Thank you for having me.
Tell us again what your company does.
Sure. UCS Advisors and Investor Relations we are an investor relations advisory company. We work with both publicly traded companies and private companies to help secure them additional funding, additional capital, and also get them prepared to take on not only the big money from VCs, but also from accredited investors as well, too.
You kind of help pave the road because a lot of CEOs of public companies make a lot of mistakes when trying to obtain financing, right?
That's correct. We work a lot with publicly traded companies. We work with their board of directors. We kind of show them and guide them with their roadmap, because in the public sector, you have to look past the hood of the car. And as someone as myself, who's been in the cannabis sector for over 10 years, we work with a lot of cannabis companies and a lot of hemp companies, because the unofficial stat is almost 60% of all cannabis and hemp owners are first-time business owners. So they need that guidance and need that assistance.
Now, we had a conversation before going on the air. You said the cannabis industry is making kind of a semi-comeback right now.
Oh, the cannabis sector is on the rise big time, both in the public sector and also in the private sector. Over 30 states, I repeat, over 30 states here in the U.S. have deemed cannabis as essential. That's the first time in almost over 80 years cannabis has been deemed essential. And our phones here at UCS Advisors have been ringing off the hooks from family wealth offices, accredited investors that are now looking to get involved in cannabis and hemp, because they're seeing how they are thriving during this COVID-19 time.
You know, it's kind of ironic, that statement you made. We've gone from being illegal to essential in a period of just a few short years.
Oh, exactly. And it's really interesting to see, too, where we're working with some companies where we're halfway through the year and they have already produced more revenue in the first 6 months, or technically 5 months, than they have all of last year. A great example, one company we're working with, last year they did $4.1 million. As of May 30th, they've already recorded $3.8 million. So it's really interesting to see what's happening in cannabis and hemp overall.
What sectors of the overall industry do you see poised for the most growth, David?
I think the number one really is ancillary services. And ancillary services means from vaporizers to technology that's needed, to security systems, to even testing labs. Another great example is when you look at these ancillary services, companies that we're working with, they have both domestic and international sales. And that's huge, because now you're just not relying just here in the US, but to have both that international and domestic, that's two different revenue streams, which really helps out companies.
Now, you mentioned vaporizers. I know they got a lot of bad press a few months ago, but that's making a comeback.
You know what? I'll take it a step further, Don. The vaporizer companies that were prepared and that were doing things the right way and actually getting the testing of their product done and actually knowing how their product is being manufactured actually thrived during the vaping crisis. And on top of that, too, if you look at Europe has been vaporizing for years. And in some countries, actually, if you smoke cigarettes, your insurance company will actually pay for your vaporizer instead of smoking regular cigarettes. And yeah, it's really interesting to see some of these vaporizer companies that are actually thriving also, too, during this COVID-19 time.
Now, we've seen a lot of market turmoil, not only during COVID-19, but of course in the recent events that have gone on in the last 10 days or so. Do you see that stabilizing anytime soon?
I do. I feel really unfortunate for a lot of the cannabis dispensaries that have had looting and that have been robbed. But we've been paying attention to it. And what's interesting is talking to our investors, talking to our funds that we deal with. They feel really confident that things will level out sooner rather than later. And they're still looking to deploy capital right now. And they're really looking for different opportunities. This is a great time to, for lack of a better term, kind of be aggressive in the market and to see what opportunities are out there and to see cannabis and hemp, both in the public and also even more so in the private sector, really thrive. People are now saying, wait, maybe I should start giving cannabis a second look.
People want to pick your brain. David, how's the best way to get hold of you?
Best way to get a hold of us is either one or two ways. You can go to our website, ucsadvisor.com, and send us an email from there. Or you can call our office line, which is 201-252 7170.
David Cunic, UCS Advisors. Always a pleasure having you on the program, David. Thanks so much.
Thank you, Don. Appreciate it. Be safe.